Good morning. This is David talking to you from Cape Cod actually today. And I wanted to thank everybody who came out to the chapel last week and engaged in the discussion that we had about George Washington and finding your calling. Believe me, I understand it's a big deal. To get up, to go out, my wife she and I would get 15 game ticket packages to the Phillies. And it always seemed that whenever one of those games came up, oh, is it tomorrow? I got this going on, I got that going on. And our lives are very busy. I understand that. So for you to come out, especially in these times, and participate last week is very special, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope you got something out of it. Finding your calling or reconnecting to your calling, they're really important things. And a couple people asked me about it afterwards. One lady asked me, does everyone have only one calling? And I'd have to say no. And your calling might change. My calling, if you had asked me when I was 17, my calling was to be a jazz musician. So things change. You change. Life changes. And you don't always have one calling, although some people do have your calling. It's really simple in a lot of ways. What makes you happy? Happiness isn't something that we're supposed to have outside of what we do all of the other time. Happiness is God's way of telling you what you should be doing. Everybody, plants, animals, when we connect to the universe, when we connect to what makes us thrive, what makes us happy as we're human beings discussing it, then we're doing what we were meant to do. And so our job as human beings in life is to find out how we can do that, because when we're doing that, we're making life better for not only ourselves, but for everybody around us. Finding your calling is going to, in part, be about service. Service is what brings us happiness. That's what that movie is about. It's a Wonderful Life that we all watch on Christmas. I used to, as a young person, I thought, well, they're telling him he's got a wonderful life. All they're doing is saying how he helped other people's lives. Right. That gives you a wonderful life. When you impact others, that gives you pleasure. And so it's exciting to find out what that thing is. It's exciting to reconnect to what that thing is if you've lost connection to it. And we work on this a lot deeper. If you're able to take our seminars, able to set up a seminar, we have one-day seminars at Valley Forge for companies, for clubs. We have 3-day seminars. So if you're interested in getting a little deeper into all of this, please let us know. But for right now, we're getting ready for February. We're getting ready to have a really exciting discussion about Robert Morris. George Washington changed the world, but he didn't do it by himself. Nobody does. What we become in large part has to do with who we surround ourselves with. George Washington just once said that it's better to be alone than to be surrounded by bad company. And George Washington was able to surround himself with very good company, I think you would agree. And Robert Morris is one of the kind of unsung people that isn't talked about that much. And we're going to talk about him in February. We're going to talk about how he helped George Washington, what he did, what his life was about. All these people to me are very interesting. And I think you'll find the same thing is true with you, that when you learn about these people, it tells you about yourself as well as about them. So once again, for everybody who made it out last week, thank you so much. For those of you who didn't make it or hadn't even heard about us last week, please check into indispensable.leadership.com. You can get a ticket for next February. I believe it's February the 10th. Next February's discussion. We would love to have you.